Tips for dealing with anxiety and stress in high-pressure situations. I am China McCarney, founder of AAAD Athletes Against Anxiety and Depression Foundation, and the creator, along with my amazingly talented, beautiful editor, Alex, of the Daily Mental Health YouTube channel. And today, I'm excited. I'm going to come at in more of a teaching, kind of coaching role. This is what I do in my career, my day job, if you will, but it's way more than that because I freaking love it. I've been at Jaeger Sports Incorporated, which is a Southern California-based baseball training company and softball training company and many sports training company. I went to my first camp when I was 12 years old. I'm 36 now, but 24 years I've been with this company. What drew me to the company was at the first camp at 12 years old, it was a 4-hour day, 3 days in a row, which was gnarly. And we probably touched the baseball for 45 minutes. The rest of it was stretching. There was paired stretching, individual stretching, yoga. And then at the end, the founder, Alan Jaeger, would lay us down and take us through a meditation. And at 12 years old, with a mother that had been incarcerated twice, parents that screamed at each other, broke things in the house, a lot of chaos, drug dealers coming after us, breaking into our preschool, blood on the thing for where they broke in. I saw all this stuff as a young child. There was a lot of trauma and a lot of fear, and it's led to an adult life of brutal mental health as well. But that was the first time I was ever given permission to just lay down and breathe and listen to my thoughts in a way. And I remember I won a book. I won Alan Jaeger's book at 12 years old because I was the most still of all the campers. And I was only 12, and this was mostly for high school. The reason I bring that up, A, I think it's a cool story, and I hope you enjoy it. But B, this started my relationship with the mind and anxiety and how to deal with it. And what sort of permission can you give yourself inside your own head to help yourself, to improve your life, to improve your mental health? And that started a journey for me. It was incredible because I started to really struggle in my teen years with all the trauma and got into alcohol and partying and didn't want to play baseball, to rebel against my family and different things. And I went to college and I had to pick a major. And my dad wanted me to go communications or business. And I was like, I want to do psychology because Alan kind of planted a seed about the brain, and I basically wanted to get a degree in psychology to try to help myself. And so I did. I got a bachelor's degree in psychology with a minor in kinesiology, so sports, kind of the mind and body together. That's basically what managing stress and managing anxiety is in high pressure situations in life. And we can be talking throwing a pitch in the World Series, which I've worked with. I'll share that story. I worked with a gentleman who threw the last pitch in the Cubs World Series. He was my student. Or it could be taking a test in school. It can be having a very difficult conversation with your spouse. It could be a presentation at work. It could be all kinds of different things. The better we are at managing the stress and anxiety, the better we're going to be at implementing positive action as opposed to negative action. What's a negative action if you're not managing stress and anxiety? Well, I did a video on my social media recently. I snapped the golf club in half. Not in a very good situation. And I think that's a good point, is I can sit here, I have all the tools in the world. I've been studying this stuff basically since 12 years old, and I still fail. We're still gonna fail. And those oftentimes, like when I snapped that club, it was like, oh boy, reflect time. What's going on in your life that's really causing that anger to come out like that? I talked in therapy. I'm in a much better place. I wasn't meditating as much. I was having more road rage. If you can work on the skill of your reaction to the external things that occur. This is one of the bases of Stoicism, which I love so much. You change your life. You change your life. You change the people's lives around you. The better you get at reacting to what life throws at you. Because we all know in life, there's going to be pain, there's going to be uncertainty, and there's going to be a need for constant work, right? That's from the documentary Stutz, Jonah Hill's therapist talking about that. And so if there's always going to be those things at certain times that are unpredictable, shouldn't we be working on being able to react to them in a way that benefits our lives? And that's what managing stress, managing anxiety in high pressure situations is all about to me. And so how do we do it? What are the tips? I've been talking for 5 minutes or whatever it's been, and I haven't given you any tips, but I wanted to paint the picture. And if you're watching this right now, you might hit pause, or you might just think to yourself while I'm rambling, what's a situation where you haven't reacted the way that you wanted to when you got angry? Right? Was it a road rage bird? Was it a throwing something? Was it a cussing someone out or saying something? I know I've done this with a significant other of like just trying to get that gut shot in with one sentence, and then right after you say it, you're like, oh my gosh, why'd I say that? all of these things you can feel when you think of that memory for yourself. You can feel it. You kind of feel ashamed, you feel guilty, you feel that little adrenaline. And so here's how we can be better. First and foremost, if you don't like the word meditation, I wear this key around my neck because it reminds me of the book, Stillness is the Key. The more time you spend in stillness, the more time you spend in silence, spending time with your thoughts, the more ammunition, education you're gonna have of what goes on inside your head and where you need to work, where you need to get to work. My first thing was self-talk. I was my worst enemy inside my head. And it's still a struggle, and I work on it every day. But that was a big one. And then it was, I would manifest panic attacks before they had happened. That was my visualization. So like if I had to speak or I had to do something that I was uncomfortable doing, I would envision myself having a panic attack, and then it became a self-fulfilling process. I had to come back and work on the opposite visualization and just say, no, we're gonna do great, we're gonna crush it. And then slowly but surely it got better over time. And oftentimes, everything I was worried about, the worst case scenarios never came true for the most part. First and foremost, the number one tip is gonna be spending time, deep breathing, building a relationship with your breath, building a relationship with your thoughts, because the more that you do that when there aren't troubles, the better you're going to be when troubles come up. So here's a very tangible example that I tell all of my athletes. I told Mike Montgomery, he threw the last pitch in the Chicago Cubs 2016 World Series, which was arguably one of the most popular World Series ever because the Cubs were cursed and hadn't won in over 100 years. Here's how I work with all the students and how we work with all the students to explain to them how this is tangible training. Because if you take batting practice, you can see if you're getting better at hitting, right? Mental training is very difficult because you can't really show people tangible results, right? Can't see a six-pack on your brain. I can do abs, and you can see my abs looking better. Here's how it works. If we spend time in silence, once a day, twice a day, laying down next to our bed, no music on, deep breath, and paying attention to our thoughts. Well, when a thought comes up, I need to pay the bills. Oh my God, I didn't take up the dog food. My girlfriend's mad. Wait. What am I doing? Oh yeah, I'm breathing. More thoughts come in. Oh, no, not paying attention. Deep breath, let it out. The better we get at that, the better we get at we control the thoughts, right? And I've seen this firsthand, and it's been so fun to watch this improvement. The better we get at that in that moment, when we're somewhere and something external comes at us, like we have to give a presentation, oh my God, what if, no. Deep breath. What can I control? Back to the presentation, do the best I can. We'll reflect on it after. That's the tangible, that's how you practice and take that. That's the tip. Deep breath, cultivating a relationship with your thoughts. That's tip number one. Because the better you get at it in times that you're just working on it, practicing it, the better and more capable you're going to be when your head starts to go. And so for me with panic attacks, it's usually a snowball of thoughts that gets worse and worse and worse. And the more I'm meditating and the more I'm kind of into my breath at that moment, the quicker I get out of that. Where it's like, oh gosh, my left arm's feeling a little numb in this restaurant. My face is feeling numb. I'm going to have a panic. Oh no, I'm back here. I'm at the restaurant. I'm listening to my girlfriend's words. I'm noticing things that I can with my senses, and I get out of it, but I have to be practicing it. And when I snapped that club, I realized I'd moved into a new house and felt that I was drifting away from spending time with myself and really being intentional about how I wanted to react. And so that's tip number one. Tip number two, and it's going to be two tips for this. It's going to be the Nike slogan. And this is hard for people, and this was really hard for me, but it's just do it, basically. Show up. Do things that are uncomfortable. If you truly want to accomplish big things, and you don't have to, it's perfectly fine if you don't want to, because it's not for everybody, and just being alive is an accomplishment. You don't have to go speak or do anything. But if there are things you want to do, but they're scary, and the fear is affecting your action threshold to go do that thing, I wish I could tell you, at least from everything I've read and studied, there's never going to be a moment that it's going to be like all of a sudden like, oh yeah, I can do that thing now, I'm ready. You got to do it. You got to do it. Doing it, the experience of doing the thing that scares the hell out of you is going to be the thing that then gives you a little more confidence to try again. And I think that was hard for me with anxiety and panic attacks. It was like, once I get this under control, then I can go do X, Y, and Z. Well, the Braves, Atlanta Braves, through our Strike Out the Stigma partnership, asked me to speak on their mental health panel to their youth academy coaches, and it was with their big league mental trainer, it was with their psychologist doctor, and with Tyler Matzik, who was the partnership. And if you would have had a transcript of all the doubting thoughts I had in my head before I did that, there's no way you would have thought that I could have gotten through it. But I told myself it was too important to not. So like the importance for AAAD, to grow AAAD, to help other people, I had to do it. I wear a heart rate monitor, and right before the thing started, I was about 130 just sitting down. My heart rate was 130. I'd rest at 52. So it was 2.5 times my normal heart rate, but I was scared out of my mind, and I did it anyway. And now I feel like I can pretty much speak anywhere. And it's still gonna be scary. I'm still gonna feel like I'm gonna poop my pants, pass out, and have the symptoms, but I'm gonna be a little better. I'm gonna do it again, I'm gonna be a little better. And I'm gonna try to implement the first tip, which is breathing. And it did help. Taking deep breaths right before we started and the MC started, it was like, oh, here we go. Those are 2 of the best tips I can give anybody to manage stress, to manage anxiety in any situation, not just high pressure situations. Develop and cultivate a relationship with your breath and a relationship with your thoughts. Do that every day in the silence where you dictate it, so that you can practice the relationship of, oh, there goes my thoughts. Nope, I'm back here to my breath. Oh, there goes my thoughts. Nope, I'm back here to my breath. So that when you're in life and stress, anxiety, big level things, your spouse says something that kind of gives you that gut instinct to go back after them because they hurt you, so you want to hurt them, that stupid game we play. Nope. I want to say that's not the right thing. Deep breath. What's my reaction? What's my response that I actually do want? The more you're spending time with your breath and your thoughts, the more you'll be able to detach and implement the action that's going to give you the best outcome. And then the other thing is just do it, baby. Do not wait. Decades will pass you by and you'll be exactly where you are. Just try. If you fail, hell yeah, because you learn. Why did I fail? And what is failure? Anyway, just look at it as practice. Go try it. You do it, you get information and education on how to try it and be 1% better the next time. That's the 2 tips that I can give you. Present day China at 36 years old, that's helped me in working with high level athletes, working with all kinds of different athletes and people at Jaeger Sports and through AAAD. These are the 2 things that I think can change your lives the quickest, and you have control over them. As always, be the change you wish to see in your life by taking action. Be kind to people. Try to make one person laugh a day, including yourself. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. If you need help, head over to AAADfoundation.org or reach out to me at China McCarney on all socials. Love you all. Thank you all for the support, and we'll be seeing you soon. Thanks so much.